It is Tuesday. It's the 26th of March. I'm Monita Rajpal. This is CNN News Center live from Hong Kong. Making headlines. North Korea says its military units are being ordered to prepare for combat as the North issues another threat against the United States. Pyongyang says it is ramping up its military readiness to the top-level state-controlled media, saying now all North Korean artillery units will be ordered to get ready to strike at the U.S. mainland and American bases on Hawaii, Guam, and in South Korea. CNN's Matthew Chance joins us now live from Yeonpyeong in South Korea. Matthew, tell us a little bit more about what the North Koreans are saying. And it seems as though that some would read that agreement is actually the level of response is, I guess, lowering the level of provocation, I should say, that the North would make on the South in terms of before it would be an actual invasion, and now the agreement would also include shelling as well. Amanda Knox's lawyer says Knox is ready to fight to prove her innocence after Italy's Supreme Court said she should be tried again for the killing of her college roommate. The American and her then-boyfriend Raffaele Solecito were found guilty of murdering Meredith Kercher in Italy in 2007 and spent 4 years in prison. Their convictions were overturned on appeal, and Knox was free to go home to the U.S. The lawyer says he doesn't think she'll return to Italy.
So we're upset, but at the same time, we're looking forward to read the motivation. We don't know exactly what.
Well, the court also ordered Solecito to face a new trial as well. It's like something out of a disturbing crime novel, and now there's another twist in the case of the Russian tycoon found dead in England. British investigators say Boris Berezovsky's death is consistent with hanging, but there's no evidence of a violent struggle or any third-party involvement. The 67-year-old is believed to have been in serious financial trouble before he died. Police say gunmen and suicide bombers attacked a police station in eastern Afghanistan, killing 5 officers. Officials say 8 attackers stormed the station in Jalalabad, ignited 2 car bombs, and opened fire at officers. The Taliban has claimed responsibility. The future of same-sex marriage in the U.S. will be put to the test in the days ahead. Supreme Court justices will start to consider whether 2 laws concerning the union of homosexual couples are constitutional. After a week of bargaining over a Cyprus bailout deal, the island's banks were meant to reopen today, but lenders are now keeping their coffers closed until Thursday. That's because big savers have been told to expect big losses from their accounts, and the government still fears a massive run on deposits. Money is already being lost elsewhere. Global stock markets are heading south. The European single currency has weakened against the dollar, and many remain concerned that what is happening in Cyprus may not stay in Cyprus. The president of the Eurogroup appeared to suggest on Monday that the Cyprus bailout could serve as a model for other nations in need. A later attempt to redress those comments could not redress the international fallout. Jim Bolden brings us the latest now from Nicosia.
Cypriots awoke to the 11th straight day that they have not had access to their bank accounts.
Well, the Eurozone may be struggling, but countries aiming to become the next generation of leading economies are preparing for their chance to shine. The heads of what are known as the BRICS are gathering in South Africa for their annual summit, which starts on Wednesday. Africa, and of course, we will have much more on President Xi's trip to the continent. Coming up on CNN News Center, live from Hong Kong, while China's leader arrives in South Africa to talk trade, can he ease concerns about China's growing influence in the region? You're watching CNN News Center live from Hong Kong. I'm Monita Rajpal. Africa is for Africans. With those words, China's President Xi Jinping addressed concerns that have followed him as he continues his trip on the continent. He is promising a relationship of equals in response to some critics' accusations that China is trying to wield too much power and control in Africa. As we've been talking about the growing ties between China and Africa, there's still a lot of concerns about those ties.
Absolutely. It depends who you talk to when you travel on the African continent. Not a lot of consensus.
Thank you for that. Robin Kerner there, live for us from Durban. Of course, we'll continue to check in with Robin as she covers the BRICS summit that officially begins on Wednesday in Durban. It seems to have started as a row between a shopkeeper and two traders, but the dispute in Myanmar quickly descended into sectarian violence between Muslims and Buddhists. And then it spread. A state-run newspaper says 40 people have been killed amid riots and fighting. You are watching CNN News Center live from Hong Kong. You are watching CNN News Center live from Hong Kong. Tiger Woods has fought his way back to the top of golf's world rankings for the first time in over 2 years. Let's get all the details now from CNN's Pedro Pinto in London. And Pedro, so he's got a new relationship. He's back on #1. It's all looking good for Tiger.
It is looking good, Monita. And you know, there used to be a time when all Tiger Woods had to do to be world #1 was wake up in the morning. I don't know what it's going to take to stop this Miami Heat team. They're going to go all the way to try to beat that record of 33 straight wins, I believe, from the Los Angeles Lakers.
It's madness, I tell you, just sheer madness. You like that?
That's call it that.
Okay.
That's fine, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Pedro, thank you very much. Well, speaking of madness, the deep freeze goes on as winter weather lingers across much of Europe. Meteorologist Mari Ramos is at the World Weather Center. With that, Mari?
Hello, yeah, you know, just watching the Miami Heat kind of warms you up a little bit, though. But anyway, let's go ahead and for the latter part of the week, Monita, back to you.
Oy. I feel sorry for everyone there. It's been raining here, you know, so I won't be too smug about it. All right, Mari, thank you very much. You are watching CNN News Center. I'm Monita Rajpal, live at CNN Hong Kong. Thank you for joining us. We'll update you the news stories, top headlines in just a couple of minutes.